Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on. We activated. We ain't playing no game.
So going into your bit, if we could fast forward, that's the beginning of your bit. Going into your bit, how was it? And
it was that. It was all violent,
all
bro.
that.
It was all violent. I think I got maybe over the course of my bit, I think I got maybe 100 tickets. Out of that 100 tickets, they were all violent. I joined the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? When I joined the Nation of Islam, prison study group, it was up there, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no Crips and Bloods then. It was.
And I'm glad you said that, because if we look at MDOC now, I know from my perspective, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's damn near like the Bloods run MDOC now.
Yeah,
you know
I saw it when I was there, but it hadn't got to that point yet.
Yeah,
when I was there, it wasn't no Bloods or Crips, bro. It was. I watched the Bloods and Crips come into the prison system. I watched cats from LA come to Detroit, get caught up and come in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was GDs and Vice Lords, Counts and Cobras out of the Southwest. It was Counts, Cobras. And then it was Chicago motherfuckers with GDs and Vice Lords.
That's interesting. So you can go on the record saying that GDs and Vice Lords were more accustomed to the city as opposed to Bloods and Crips at that time.
It wasn't. I'm an East Side nigga. I was there from the street to the penitentiary. On the East Side, the first time I ever heard, it wasn't no Bloods, bro. The first motherfuckers who was really going crazy was them local boy niggas. You know what I'm saying? Big Loc them. No, local boy niggas, East Side. Where you see the red zone now, specifically Moraine. Moraine wasn't no Moraine and all that shit. That wasn't Blood neighborhood, bro. Them was Crips over there. Local boys over there. Houston, Whittier area, all the way over to Moraine. Them was Crip niggas from Cali was running that bitch over there. I know because we was dealing with them, you hear me? It wasn't Blood yet. The red zone wasn't born at that particular point in time. The hood that was red zone now, them was GDs over there, bro. Them was GDs over there. They hadn't gravitated towards the Crip and Blood type rivalry at that point in time. Local boys was the first time I ever seen some Crip niggas in the city of Detroit. First time.
Got you. So MDOC, who ran MDOC in that time?
Religions.
Got you.
Nation of Islam, Melanics, which don't exist now because they took their service from them. Moabites. That's who ran. The Moors, Melanics, Nation of Islam, Sunnis. Then you had a few good Christian brothers who bust your motherfucking head too. You know what I'm saying?
You say in the name of Jesus.
All the Christians wasn't no whole ass niggas like niggas be saying, no, I know some Christian brothers, good Christian brothers bust your motherfucking head.
No, they definitely got a stigma now where it's like you a chomo damn near if you know what I mean? If you were, you know, as a Christian. And
the pedophile type shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know why.
Why? Cause that's what that, I'm my language, bro. Yeah, of course, I'll accept anybody. Yeah, accept anything. You know what I'm saying? That Jesus shit, bro. You let them child pedophile ass niggas up in that bitch. You know, don't be playing with me, bro. You know, I was motherfucking pedophile motherfuckers up in that bitch. You hear me? No, you a pedophile, you can't come over here. You gotta go over there with them. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's the truth. Ain't no, it what it was. Yeah, you a child molester, rape, pedophile ass nigga.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Cause once we find out about you can't come over here with us.
Facts. So look, so you say, okay, you joined the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
The Nation of Islam got a certain type of militant, perception, whatever the case may be. But a lot of the stories that we hear about, the Nation of Islam in prison, it kind of go back to that time frame that you was in prison and the demonstrations that was laid down.
When I came to prison?
Yeah.
Things were changing because Raphael Lex came to prison, right? So prior to Ralph coming into prison, so this is how it is, bro. For people who don't know, the Nation of Islam, out of the Islamic sects in the prison system, right? They had more rules and regulations, so more do's and more don'ts. Can't smoke, can't drink spud juice. You ain't supposed to be gambling. You ain't supposed to be smoking. You ain't supposed to be gambling. You ain't supposed to be fucking with a sissy. Get you killed. Fuck in the Nation of Islam in prison. When I was there, if we found out that you was fucking with a boy, we killing you. Are we gonna try?
Right.
Now you better hope that you find out that we know, so you can get the fuck off the yard before if we find out first and you think we don't know, oh, your ass is grass. Once we do that investigation, And we go to that motherfucking punk, and that punk said, yeah, we was, oh, you through. We gonna kill you. We gonna kill your motherfucking ass up in that bitch. So long story short, before I even got to prison, when I was in the youth home, one of the staff members gave me the Message to the Black Man. So I was in the youth home reading the Message to the Black Man. You know what I'm saying? So I was already, the autobiography of Malcolm X as well. Mm-hmm. So I was already in tune with, I considered myself a Muslim prior to going to prison, but I didn't really get into the actual practice application until I got inside the prison study group where I learned the teachings. All right. And I learned what protocol was supposed to be and how you were supposed to govern yourself and how you're supposed to act. Yeah. So back then, the religions ran the penitentiary, not no gang. Even the G's and Vice Lords back then, before the Christian Bloods took over, it was religion, bro. You violate one of them religions, it's up there. You get your head bust.
So I hear a lot about the Supreme Team. Was they that vicious?
The Supreme Team, I'm going to say something about that, bro. What happened is that when the Supreme Team was born out of the change in the Nation of Islam, when Raphael X came to prison, you had the brothers in Mosque Number 1 and the MGT, because he was an FOI or in training to become an FOI. He was a junior FOI when he caught his case.
In the streets?
In the street.
Okay.
When he came to the prison, it was almost unheard of at that particular point in time for a FOI to come to prison. Cause so when he came to prison, you had the mosques, the people who were running the mosques at that particular time, they were interested in his welfare and well-being. So they started paying attention to us more. They weren't paying attention to us. We had communication with the brothers, but they weren't really paying attention to us like they were after Ralph came to prison. When Ralph came to prison, he saw what was going on, right? And he understood what was supposed to be what, because he was a member in the street. So we were calling our service the mosque, going to the mosque, right? We were calling ourselves captains and sergeants and ministers and assistant ministers.
Which is official names for positions out in the streets.
Once you qualify out in the street, in the free world. So Ralph came in and he saw that, and I was there. When Ralph came into MR, he was in gladiator school. First joint he went to, I was there. So when he came in, I was one of the first brothers to secure him, because he had to be secure because he was a fruit in the world. So we was like, nigga, you fucking kill you. Because our whole concept was this a brother who was a fruit in the world. So, and Ralph came in on some bullshit too, bro. Ralph came in talking about, hey, you ain't no Muslim. He telling the Moors, that ain't no Islam. You know what I'm saying? He going at it with the Sunni Muslims, and he was profound in his understanding of the teachers. We like, oh shit. Like, you can't be saying that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no, brother, you eating pork? She slapped the pork off. You know what I'm saying? It'd be times where we would get into, we had fellowships with the Moors. We had fellowships with the Melanics. We had fellowship with certain people. Ralph coming like, no, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Them boys eating pork. Boom, slap the pork. Oh, no, you can't do that, Ralph. It's a whoa. I remember the first time Ralph did some crazy shit. They called me because I think I was always a vanguard. I was always on security protocol, right? Like, man, Ralph got into it with Mo, told the Mo something about he ain't no Muslim and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's different sets. I understood that you have people who have different belief systems, and you can't, it's not society, bro, where you can just debate with a motherfucker like that. He didn't understand the prison ethics. No, it's going to lead to a war. No, I said, you can't just be, you know what I'm saying? I used to toss me. You can't just be, you know what I'm saying? They don't
for the record, the Melanics was had a lot of numbers, if I ain't mistaken, or did they?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But the Melanics and the Nation of Islam.
I meant to say the Moors.
It's more Moors. More Moors than anybody. It's more Moorish Americans than anybody. More of them. Right? Than anybody. It's only popping. You get to the Moors, it's up there. You hear me? So we had battles, and I hate to say it, because you have brothers it wasn't supposed to be that way, but you had a lot of nigger shit mixed in with religious shit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit was just nigger shit. You know what I'm saying? For real, wasn't Islam. It was just us being young men in captivity, trying to figure it out, bro. So I ain't even gonna condemn a lot of the shit that happened, but a lot of that shit wasn't about it wasn't Islam. Sure. It was men pretending to be Muslims and carrying themselves based on their limited understanding of what Islam and what being a Muslim is supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's up there, only popping. Yeah.
So,
So the Supreme Team question?
Yeah, progressing to that, yeah.
So the Supreme Team was really born out of a certain segment within the Nation of Islam who did not want to bear witness to the changes that was taking place. Because when Ralph came in, he ushered in the prison study group information that we hadn't had, right? And so, hey, listen, bro, you're not a minister. You're not assistant minister. You're not a captain. You can't say that till you get to the street. You got to qualify yourself once you get to the street. That chaplain. That's not a mosque. That's a chapel. What are you talking about? We're just using that to hold our service. So he ushered in a new train of thought, the prison study group train of thought. And a lot of the brothers who, I'm a captain. These guys have been locked up since 1972. You can't tell them they ain't no captain. They've been saying they're a captain for 20 years. Or I'm a minister, or I'm an assistant minister. The boys weren't trying to hear that. So the Supreme Team was for a fact born out of brothers saying, no, we are still captains. We still lieutenants, or we're still more qualified to run each location than those guys are. And I never subscribed to the Supreme Chain because I was like, I'm going to go with the teachings. And is this what the minister said? And if the minister has put this, and that Minister Abdul said he was in charge of the prison study group across the country, state and fed, if this is what it is, we're going to follow protocol. But you have some brothers who didn't want to follow protocol, bro. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I was invited, but I turned it down because I'm running with what the ministers say.
Oh, so brothers was actually recruiting for the Supreme Team. Wow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The Supreme Team was some of the most aggressive, some of the most violent. They'd kill you, brother. You know what I'm saying? They'd kill you. Dead.
And if I may, some of the stories was if a member of the Supreme Team came to a location,
he was to take over.
That
was his job, to take over. That was his job, to take over. Period. And then everybody else, no matter who he was, if he was a member of the Supreme Squad, when he hit the compound, he was going to go, and whoever was the chief aide, because there wasn't no more ministers, it was a chief aide, coordinator, right? Whoever it was, then he hit the ground, you either going to submit or you ain't going to submit. There were some situations where you had brothers who were not in the Supreme Chain of Command, they didn't submit, and that turned into internal disputes amongst members of the Nation of Islam. It was the most sad and pitiful period of my stint in penitentiary to see us going the edge like that.
What years was that? If you if you could remember.
Supreme Chain, that the Supreme formed, they started to form as soon as Ralph got there, bro. So I would say the Supreme really kind of like manifested itself 96. Ralph got there about 94, but 96, 97 is when you really heard tale of them boys moving around, and when they got to a particular location, they was taking over. You know what I'm saying? And it was up there. You couldn't go to Jackson. Jackson was controlled by Supreme. If you go to Jackson and you had gotten into it with a member of the Supreme Chain of Command, you dead.
Wow.
You dead. Or you gonna lock up. Ain't no in between. They gonna try to kill you.